The fall of Egypt to Alexander the Great. The year was 332 BCE. Egypt, once the unrivaled power of the ancient world, now lived under the shadow of foreign rule. For nearly 2 centuries, the Persian Empire had held Egypt in its grasp, ruling through satraps, Persian governors, who cared little for the land's ancient traditions. Heavy taxes drained the people's wealth, and resentment simmered in the streets of Memphis and Thebes. The once proud kingdom of the Pharaohs had become a province in someone else's empire. But far to the north, a new force was rising, a young Macedonian king named Alexander. He was only 24, yet his armies had already shattered Persian power in Asia Minor and Syria. His name spread like wildfire across the Mediterranean, carried by tales of impossible victories and unshakable ambition. When news came that Alexander had turned his eyes toward Egypt, the Persians braced for war. The satrap Mazax fortified the border, knowing the Nile's riches were too tempting for any conqueror to resist. But the Persian Empire was crumbling, morale was low, and the people of Egypt no longer wished to defend their overlords. As Alexander marched across the Sinai, the Persian garrisons melted away before him. Town after town opened its gates, not to resist, but to welcome him. To many Egyptians, he was not another invader, but a liberator. The oracle priests whispered that the gods themselves might favor this young king, and hope flickered in the hearts of those who dreamed of freedom from Persia. When Alexander entered the ancient city of Memphis, there was no battle. Mazax, seeing the futility of resistance, surrendered without a fight. The Macedonian was crowned as Pharaoh of Egypt in the Temple of Ptah, draped in the royal regalia of a god-king. The priests proclaimed him the son of Ammonius, the living Horus, chosen to rule by divine will. Alexander, though a foreigner, understood the importance of Egypt's sacred traditions, and the people, in turn, accepted him as their rightful ruler. Yet his conquest was not only about Egypt's throne. Soon after his coronation, Alexander traveled deep into the Libyan desert to the famed Oracle of Siwa. There, in the silence of the sands, the oracle is said to have greeted him as the son of Zeus Ammon. Whether the story was true or shaped by legend, it gave his rule in Egypt a divine legitimacy no Persian could claim. In less than a year, Egypt had fallen, not through bloody siege, but through the collapse of Persian authority and the careful embrace of ancient traditions. Alexander's reign in Egypt would be brief. His eyes were fixed on Persia itself. But in his wake, he left behind a new era. After his death, his general Ptolemy took control of Egypt, founding a dynasty that would last nearly 300 years. From Alexander's arrival to the age of Cleopatra, Egypt would stand as a Hellenistic kingdom, its culture forever changed by the young king, who came from the north and claimed the double crown of the Nile. The fall of Egypt to Alexander was not just the end of Persian rule. It was the moment when 2 great worlds met, and history itself was reshaped. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe, like, share, turn on the grind for more history updates.